Alright, got him heat shrinked. Looks slightly less amateurish now. So, looking good. Still haven't put the other one of this on. I think I'm going to wait till I have one side on probably the controller, and then I'll snake all of this up. Because what I need to do is I need to get one on the controller, figure out where I'm going to put this, slide this up, have the heat shrink needs to go on top of this, because this is just so flimsy. And I actually poked a hole in this in one spot because I was trying to use a rod as the fish tape. And the best way to do this is treat it like a Chinese finger trap and just crush it together. When you crush it together, it gets really big. So I figured that out afterwards. But yeah, I'm going to have just a seam on this where I have another piece of heat shrink come up on top of that after this one is shrunken down. Alright, got those off. Now time to put these on. And since I don't have a camera stand, I'm not going to film any of my work, but you all don't care to see that anyway, I'm sure. Just the progress. Alright, many hours later, got those on. What I didn't realize is that the width of the new lugs were too wide, so I had to go and file them all down. And you can see I got reds on the outsides, black in the center, same as up top. Now, just take this, slide it in. With one hand it's kind of difficult. That slides on. So you can see you got it done over here. Sorry about the lighting. And then this guy is just going to slide up. On there like that. It's going to cover up all the sheathing and everything. And yeah, that feels about right. And then this guy is going to come up here. You can get back up here like that. So it's just going to be like that. And that should keep all the wires away from each other, so everything's good. So let me get this guy heat shrunk on, and that will be good to go. Alright, all hooked up. Going down. That's what it looks like. Oh, it looks good. Oh, that feels right. Yep. Perfect. I'm excited. So I've been working on the go-kart for a while now, playing with the settings, and so far I have not been able to get it to where it can shift from censored mode to sensorless mode in a relatively low RPM. I've been trying, and just failing. And I really think it's because I have no way of data logging what's going on, so I don't know if I'm making improvements or not improvements with the AS dyno, because I can't tell what RPM the motor is working well at, what RPM the motor is not working well at. I can just tell medium speed, high speed, low speed, that type of stuff. So I've got a plan on what I'm going to do next, and once I get the go-kart fixed with what you're going to see in a minute, I'll be able to start running that, and I'll show you what I'm doing on that stuff. The other thing that is really amazing with this motor and the Lebowski speed controller is that I have not been able to put any heat into the motor. I can just do start, stop as fast as I can, and I can dump right now about 70 amps battery, or 70 battery amps right now. And the other issue is that I'm at 160 volts, so the back EMF on this motor is pretty high, so I need to get my volts a little bit higher to push a few more amps into the motor. But with the Kelly, it got really hot real fast, and I thought that's what was going to happen on this inverter. But the Lebowski controller is just amazing when it comes to efficiency. And then the other thing that's really awesome is the field weakening. And sometimes the field weakening comes on smoothly, sometimes the field weakening comes on later. And when the field weakening comes on later, what happens is you accelerate. You feel a hard pull up to, I'm guessing, around 5,000 RPM, which is the maximum just standard RPM for the motor without field weakening. And then all of a sudden the field weakening kicks in, and it's like a nitrous button. It just pushes you back, and the thing just accelerates again. And then it accelerates, and then it falls off once it's at full speed. But it is just amazing. The mid speed power and the full speed power is just fantastic. and I've pulled about 15 horsepower out of this thing so far, and my top speed's been 39 miles an hour with 45 amps of field weakening at 160 volts. So it's still got improvement because I am going to increase the voltage from 160 to about 200, and that will get me another 20% on speed, because that's another 20% on RPM or on voltage, and so that should get me, you know, scary fast. But the main thing is acceleration. I'll be able to keep my maximum amps longer, but I don't think I'm ever going to hit my max amps because I've got the max amp set so high that I am not maxing out the speed controller, I'm not maxing out the motor, I'm just maxing out the back EMF. And so I'm going to have a lot of torque at lower RPMs, and as the RPM goes up, my torque's going to fall off because the back EMF is going to push back on me. So once I get it going, hopefully we'll be able to see, and then I'll be able to move on to my next project, which is going to be something like a side-by-side or a Honda Odyssey or something like that, because this go-kart right now is just, it's terrible. It's a great test bed because it was cheap, but that's about it. It's coming to the end of its life.